Ed Lee started out as an eviction lawyer. He defended the Chinese and the Filipinos. He, in fact, bragged that he could stop any eviction for a year. Where is he? We want that Ed Lee back.
We need that Ed Lee back.
He is not helping us on the level that we need. And he's not talking to us, and he's avoiding us.
He's locking his doors whenever a protest happens. We are peaceful people. We are frustrated people, and legitimately so.
So what do you think?
Ron Conway's got his ear.
What do you think the mayor is not doing that you would like him to do?
He could declare a state of emergency and stop all evictions in the city now. Because this is an emergency. We are in a crisis.
Open his doors on protest days.
And
he could be communicative with the people who don't pay money to do things in the city.
Sure.
And is he going to debate the other candidates, Jeff?
Yeah, would you?
You do know.
Would you
I actually don't. I mean,
would you
I'm
please
a policy
pass that?
advisor.
Would you please pass that along? That we, the people, would love to see him debate the other mayoral candidates.
Right.
Once.
Yes.
Sure, I'm happy to pass that, but I'm
Thank
a
you.
policy advisor.
Well,
There's a whole.
Nevertheless,
there's some. That's.
You were who were giving
It's also
us.
kind of an inappropriate conversation for people to have, for City Hall staff to have a political conversation that's involved in an electoral conversation in the building.
No, we're not having electoral conversation.
No, for me to talk with him about that.
Well,
in
you
this
can
building
say it.
is not.
Because there is a person.
You can say that you're passing on word, though.
Sure. So just a couple things just to talk with you about.
Yeah.
So there has been, I want to say, at least 8 pieces of tenant legislation that have been sponsored since the mayor's come into office, all of which have passed the Board of Supervisors. Not one of them has ever been vetoed. Not one of them has ever been watered down. So every single bill that has been put forward by the Board of Supervisors has had no interference from the mayor's office.
Well, we're getting
the mayor supports the ability of tenants to stay in their homes. He supports unlawful evictions of tenants, both here in the city and otherwise.
There's people on Market Street getting evicted now. It has not been effective. 4,000 families have left the city.
Right.
We need a state of emergency. We need to stop evictions, and we need no more luxury housing.
We need no more.
And we need
luxury
100%
housing. Really.
affordable housing in the city now. The workers and the people on which the millions are made in the city can't even live here. It's a tragedy.
It's becoming a monocropped culture. I mean, there's just more and more. It's getting to be a city that is for the rich, and the reason that this city is so wonderful is because there are so many different levels of economic diversity. People don't all want to live with the same model, and that's part of what makes it wonderful.
Sure, of course.
And you know, the way our city is set up, which is unusual, is that because it's a city and county, the mayor doesn't have to sit at the Board of Supervisors meetings. And so basically
he doesn't hear
the people every week at the Board of Supervisors meeting. You know, he comes once with a predetermined question and a pre-written answer and does this formal thing that doesn't mean anything. And, you know,
when we have protests, he should open his doors and have this one day that we bother to. I mean, please ask him to open his doors and to change that policy.
Actually, don't have a card, but my email address is my name, so jeff.buckley at
SF. Are you
SF.
Jeff?
Yep.
And are you Buckley, L-E-Y?
Buckley.
Okay, I wrote his name down correctly too. Jeff.Buckley?
Yep.
Are you feeling sad about what's happening in the city?
I feel sad about what's happening in the city. I think for me though, I want to be active in trying to do something to keep the city socially, economically diverse, to make sure that renters are protected in their homes, make sure that I think people have the ability to actualize their rights, because we've like literally the strongest rent ordinance in the country, bar none. And
yet it's not working, is it?
Well,
because
do you know
there's
why?
a one-bedroom apartment for $9,800 in San Francisco.
The reason why it isn't working is because, and this is just the way the system works. I'm not saying I agree with that.
The system's broken.
So when the legislature gets more radical here in San Francisco, when the board gets more radical, and the landlords don't like what's happened, they go to the state. And at the state is where they get loopholes created for our local rent ordinance.
Well, there are
Well, let's
laws about
figure
the
This
out-
actually has happened across the country.
And let's figure,
In
yeah,
I'll
it's
give you an
happening all
example.
over the country.
When Cambridge, Massachusetts got too radical, the landlords passed a state proposition preventing rent control. So it basically eliminated the rent control protections in Cambridge and prevented future jurisdictions in that area. So this is not a unique circumstance to San
No, it's
Francisco.
not
It's
a
a
very
tragedy
common.
No,
of the tragedy of the system,
it's-
which
it's-
is
So,
broken.
and so that's why the mayor,
And
in
so we
order
need
to
to work
go
on
to
the
the right
public
place,
trust.
But there are
just so you know, like the Ellis Act, which is where they get to empty everybody out and flip the property for
It's still
TICs
happening.
or others. It is. Mayors twice with Mark Leno is not only supportive of the bill, went up to Sacramento and lobbied the Speaker of the House, Senate Pro Tem, and all the swing members of the committees. And we
To
were
get rid
hit.
of it.
Yes, and to basically prevent somebody for 5 years, so it would stop somebody coming in. They wouldn't be able to do it. They'd have to wait 5 years,
So
which
here's
they
the-
don't want to do.
So here's an idea.
So when-
You guys, why don't you reach out to these groups, to us,
Sure.
that have a different ear than you do?
So would you come to
And-
some of these community meetings?
Yeah, of course.
And would you
Okay.
come to some of these community meetings, and would you also reach out to us if the mayor's going to do something that you feel pretty certain that we would like, so that we can work together? I mean, what we get so often is just this, shrouded elitism that's going. I mean, we can't. We tried to go in and talk to him one day, and we were talked to like children. It was really weird.
I'm here,
Yeah.
So I mean,
but
we're
really, we need more openness. I mean, it is just, it's really, really bad policy. It's really bad policy to lock the door
Yeah.
every time it's a scheduled group of people are coming. It's just bad
they called it a
policy.
security
Come
issue.
on.
We are
and,
not a
and,
security
And they told us that it was a special security issue, and they're like, well, it's us, and they're like, no, it's not us. We can't tell you what it is. I mean, come on. We're not
Anyway,
crazy
I really
little
want
children.
to thank you for your time, and I
Thank
hope
you for waiting and talking with me, and I'm happy to come.
I want to leave with one last statement that, so Mayor Lee said that for every one tech worker that comes in, 5 lower socioeconomic jobs are created. That means that we need 84% affordable housing and 16% luxury. And the numbers have been flip-flopped on that as what's acceptable.
So I'll just say, our office, I don't think there's ever been a rate of affordable housing production, preservation, and rehabilitation that's gone on historically from any other mayor besides this one.
Okay, well, it's because we're so screwed. It's got to be. We
Increased
have to flip it.
threefold,
Okay,
three times what
so
the
let's just
normal
keep
amount of
remembering that
affordable
number.
housing.
84% affordable housing, 16% luxury housing. That's how we create the melting pot that makes things right.
Sure.
And we're, and that means an occasional 100%
go,
has to
Lisa.
get thrown in order to right all the 12% that have happened in the
Okay.
past. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Take care.
Thank you. You too. Take care.
Yeah, down the stairs.